Hey everyone, this is Rick with Hit and Run Candlesticks. This is Tuesday, December 22nd, 2020, and let's take a look at some charts here for Wednesday, December 23rd. First let's talk about the SPY real quick here. Let me get this out of here. We might have a little bit of a top starting to show up here. We've rallied up and then we put that big bearish engulf in, and then we tried to move up and all we did was fail up here. And this, you can see how this might be starting to form a little bit of a top right in here. We're underneath the T-line again today with a close, and yesterday closed underneath the T-line. Anytime we close underneath the T-line, I get nervous, whether it's a chart, whether it's the market, anything. This is my go-to line. It works perfectly with my trading style, and well, I respect it. And closing underneath it is not a good thing in my mind. So I'm going to need to see price break out to the upside before I get too crazy to the bullish side. Now, with that said, overall, this chart does look still bullish as far as the trend goes. It hasn't really broken any major trend at this point, but I sure am cautious, very, very cautious up here. Let's take a look at the 3-bar chart, and this chart looks darn right ugly to me. We have a failed high, an attempt and failed high, and then we've come up here and we've actually put in a island reversal. So with a gap down, we're looking at this here underneath the price, underneath the Trendicator. See the red dots there? We're underneath the Trendicator. This blue line right here, this is the 50-period moving average, and we are setting up for a possible blue ice failure. We're also setting up for a possible dreaded H pattern. Dreaded H pattern right there. Oops, there we go. Color that in a little. Kind of looks like an H, doesn't it? So we really want to be a little cautious with this. In fact, today was the first day that I've taken a short in an awful long time. Although that's not on the watch list tonight, I will we'll go look at it and talk about it. So anyway, we've got this island reversal up here on the 3-bar chart, and I think this is something to take note of. Take note that on the 3-bar chart, we are setting up for a possible blue ice failure, and we're under that Trendicator. So we want to be careful with this. All right, so today I did take a short. One of our members mentioned this, and they're already in it. They were already in it. And I decided to join the party with them on American Airlines. Now, American Airlines here, I've got to stop about 16.15 up here. I'm looking for this to drop down into the 14.75 and then maybe the 50-period moving average. We'll watch how that acts. We'll certainly, as always, we'll take profits on the way down maybe. Again, it's like, what does that price action look like? What does the day look like in the overall market? But we're certainly not going to be afraid to take those profits to keep growing that account. All right, let's take a look at these charts real quick. I only have, 6 of them, so I'll try to whip through these pretty fast. I do want to say that, going into the holiday weekend, and again, this is just kind of it's a video talking diary for my trading. It helps me, so I talk about what I'm going to do to myself, and I'm just sharing it with everybody. In no way do these stocks represent recommendations to buy. Absolutely no way at all. These are for the Road to Wealth account, and I hope there's some education here for people, and certainly education for myself every time. So on this, we'll start with WRAP. This is a rounded bottom breakout, and we have a bottom here that looks pretty well constructed. If anything, it's pretty well tested. A lot of tests in here, testing that bottom, and it seems to have held up pretty good. And here's the buyers really stepped in big, 4 days ago? and close this up over the 50 period moving average. That's this line right in here that runs like that. Close this up over the 50 period moving average. And then past 3 days, we've just gone sideways. A little sloppy, a little choppy, but all sideways. Today, I thought that was a pretty good close today. I like that candle. We're in the buy box here with a stop about $5.85. I might be looking for that 690 to get tested, or the 200 period moving average. The next one is pens. Now, I did buy pens, I don't know what, 15 minutes before the close, I guess, today. We have a Morningstar signal set up, and we've got a long-term, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-day pop out of the box setting up here. And really, when you look at this over here, this, whoops, that's not quite what I wanted. There we go. Right over here, this is a pop out of the box. And here's the flat trading, here's the pop, and then we just came right back down. And if you look at that line, and this line is certainly adjustable. Somebody might want it, a penny here, penny there. But I'm looking at this line, and I see all this resistance. We broke out, that resistance became support, and now we've done all this testing. We even really tested it over here, testing. Now this line becomes support up here. I may have said support here. Resistance over here, and now support over here. So I really like the fact we've got a Morningstar signal sitting on support. Another thing that I really like is we closed over the body of this candle. The Morningstar signal is my favorite candle entry signal when it comes to candle entry signals. So we have a negative day, and then we have our gap down doji, and then we have our gap up bullish candle, making that Morningstar. And once we close or cross up over this body over here, I really like that entry there. I'm not really shopping for it down here. I'm shopping up here. And that's what I did. I bought that today. Looking for that to move up, and that may have a nice little 25% move. What we're going to do is, as always, as it starts moving up, we're going to take profits to the upside, whether that meets that 25% mark or not. We'll take some off the table or close it all out. If it moves up more, we'll take more off the table or close it all out. And it doesn't matter if we make 25% on it. We are after making our goals, whatever our goals are. Every trader has a different goal. We talk about ours all the time in the trading room. Nike had an interesting couple of days here, actually 3 days. Nike couldn't get through, boom, 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 big old bearish engulf, and then big old breakout here. Sloppy day, but we did break out. We did close over that resistance line. Today, we gapped down, and we do have a little bit of a wick down here on the bottom, but the body closed lower than the open. But we did close over that resistance line, making this all support up here. So, again, a great gap, but then a very sloppy 2 days here. So what I'm kind of looking for is maybe Nike to settle down a little bit, maybe put a candle or two in here, a day or two, and then I start to see buyers really, push. That's when I might be interested in Nike here, and it doesn't have to be up here. I mean, if it looks like it's holding up in here, so if we did something like this, so we have we're going to go ahead and give it another red candle, and then, man, I saw a candle like that in there. I'm going to be hot to trot, looking at that bullish engulf or a possible piercing candle or something in here, Morningstar signal that gives me that candlestick signal that looks like buyers are stepping back in, and that's where I want to maybe take a look at it. As far as targets or profits to the upside, well, we know what our goals are. We cover them every day in the trading room, and we'll take profits off into strength, taking in consideration what our goals are. Here's another chart, CCOI, that's setting up. This is a rounded bottom breakout. I'm just going to go to that rounded bottom breakout chart here. The 200 period moving average here and the dotted deuce here. These are always, we always put these lines up, possible target lines at those two moving averages. And then what we'll do is come in between them and see if we can see any price action that might make us think, well, we better look at it. So 64.25, I'm looking at that thinking, well, we'll watch that. It's not that we're going to sell it when it gets there. We're going to pay attention to our price action, but we do want to be reminded that it's there. Then, of course, we have the dotted deuce. And then we have this, 69, and it's just simply coming up here to where we had this high over here in early September. And then, of course, the 200 up here. Stop around $60.50. The buy box is less than, about 2.5% wide or thick, I guess, high. And, we'll just follow price as it moves up, and we'll take that profit based on our goals. Let's go to FVRR. We've got a little top in here, and then all of a sudden we broke out. We have I'm not going to call that a belt hold. That's not quite far enough. But we did have a gap down. We came back up. We closed up bullish engulf. Up, lost a little bit, but we created a higher low. We rallied up, and then today was a nice relaxing day. So what I would like to see personally is a nice relaxing day again, and those buyers step in. So maybe we open up like that, and I start seeing those buyers stepping in. Well, that might get me interested to get into that trade. If we buy it up high, on the high side of the buy box, we'll have to adjust that stop from 209.80 up. If we end up getting in at the lower side of this trade, then we can keep that 209.80. And again, we'll take profits on the way up based on our goals. Our goals, by the way, they are figured so that we double our account in 12 months. A lot of people ask, well, why don't you figure them so you quadruple your account? And honestly, that's the people I find aren't here 6 months from now because they don't have a plan and they're thinking a little too big. Don't get too excited. Don't go buy an airplane until you have a bicycle yet. And that's what I say that to some people there. Is just trading it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's a long-term endeavor. Takes lots of education and patience and the knowledge of how to trade. And I've learned that, if I can be satisfied with just doubling my account in 12 months, and what numbers do I need to do that with? Well, that's what I work with. And that seems to work out pretty well. If you've been following the Road to Wealth account, well, you know that. Okay, the last one I have here is this GTHX. Bang, 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 bang with higher lows. So what I'm looking at is the power of this chart that just keeps holding up into here, keep banging its head, and it keeps getting higher and higher on the lows. So what I'm looking for is that breakout and a slight little rest. I'm looking for a buy right in there. $20.40 stop for a stop. This thing starts to move up, and we'll come over here. Boom, we'll go right into here. So around 2360, for maybe price running up to that area. We want to watch this. We're just bumping up against all that little resistance in there. If it does break out, then I'll be looking at testing these highs over here, right in there. So, okay, that is the trade ideas, everybody. Thank you so very much for watching the video. I do appreciate it. I do wish everyone a wonderful, wonderful holiday coming up, and hope to see you in the trading room. Everyone take care.